Defying Gravity, How Faith and Purpose Launch Impossible Dreams. Welcome to the BlackCEO Podcast, where we explore the extraordinary journeys of those who dare to dream big and defy the odds. Today, we're diving into a story that will challenge your perspective on what's possible when you refuse to give up. I had the incredible privilege of interviewing Kappitola Mells, a woman whose journey embodies the very essence of perseverance, faith, and entrepreneurial spirit. Her story isn't just inspiring. It's a testament to the transformative power of unwavering belief in oneself and a higher purpose. Kappitola's impact extends far beyond her business success. She's changing lives, reshaping communities, and proving that with faith and determination, we can truly defy gravity. Have you ever felt like the universe was conspiring against your dreams? Like every door you tried to open slammed shut with such force, it nearly knocked you off your feet? Well, buckle up, because Kappitola Mells faced those moments, and then some. But here's the kicker. Instead of backing down, she leaned in. And that's what we're here to talk about today. The audacity to dream big, even when the odds seem stacked higher than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. Picture this: a mother of 4, including a son with autism, navigating the complexities of family life while harboring entrepreneurial ambitions that refuse to be silenced. Now, add to that mix the unprecedented chaos of a global pandemic. For many, this would be a recipe for retreat, a time to hunker down and wait for calmer waters. But for Kappitola, it was the catalyst for something extraordinary. A moment when most people were zigging, she decided to zag and zag hard. In the midst of uncertainty, when the world was gripped by fear and doubt, Kappitola made a decision that would alter the course of her life. She chose to step out on faith and launch Azalee Homecare LLC. Now, let's pause for a moment and really let that sink in. So, starting a business is daunting under the best circumstances. It's like trying to build a ship while you're already out at sea. But starting a business focused on providing compassionate care to those in need during a time when human contact was literally feared. That's not just brave, that's revolutionary. It's like deciding to open an ice cream shop in the middle of the Sahara. It seems impossible, but oh, how desperately it's needed. But here's where Kappitola's story takes a turn that sets it apart. She didn't just push through the fear, she used it as fuel. Every obstacle became an opportunity, every setback a setup for a comeback. This wasn't just about building a business. It was about answering a calling, about fulfilling a purpose that was bigger than her fears, bigger than the pandemic, bigger than anything that stood in her way. It was as if she looked at the mountain of challenges before her and said, "That's cute. Watch me climb it in heels." Now, you might be thinking, that's great for her, but my situation is different. I can't possibly do something like that. And you're right, your situation is different. But the principles that guided Kappitola's journey are universal. It's about recognizing that sometimes the biggest limits we face are the ones we place on ourselves. It's about understanding that faith isn't just a concept. It's a powerful force that can propel us forward when logic tells us to stand still. It's like having a secret rocket booster strapped to your back that activates precisely when you think you can't take another step. Let's break this down into 3 key lessons we can all take from Kappitola's experience. First, the power of purpose. Kappitola didn't just start a business, she answered a calling. Azalee Homecare LLC wasn't born out of a desire for profit, but out of a deep-seated need to provide care and support to those who needed it most. This sense of purpose became her North Star, guiding her through the stormy seas of entrepreneurship. It was like having a GPS for the soul, constantly recalibrating her route towards her ultimate destination, no matter how many detours life threw her way. When we align our actions with our deepest values, we tap into a wellspring of motivation that can carry us through the toughest challenges. It's like discovering you have a superpower you never knew existed. Ask yourself, what drives you? What's the change you want to see in the world? Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing on a global scale. It just needs to be authentic to you. Maybe it's as simple as making people smile every day, or as complex as solving climate change. The size of the purpose doesn't matter. It's the depth of your commitment to it that counts. Second, the strength found in vulnerability. As a mother of a child with autism, Kappitola was no stranger to challenges. But instead of hiding this part of her life or seeing it as a hindrance to her business aspirations, she embraced it. Her experiences as a caregiver informed her business model, adding a layer of empathy and understanding that set Azalee Homecare apart. It's like she took the heaviest thing in her life, and instead of letting it weigh her down, she used it as the foundation to build something beautiful. Too often we try to compartmentalize our lives, keeping our personal challenges separate from our professional ambitions. We put on our work face and pretend that the rest of our life doesn't exist from 9 to 5. But what if instead we allowed our whole selves to show up? What if we saw our struggles not as weaknesses, but as unique perspectives that could add value to our work? It's like having a secret ingredient that no one else has. It might not be what everyone expects, but it's what makes your recipe truly special. Third, the importance of faith-driven resilience. Throughout her journey, Kappitola's faith was her bedrock. It wasn't about waiting for divine intervention. It was about believing in her vision so deeply that giving up simply wasn't an option. This kind of faith-driven resilience isn't about religion in the traditional sense. It's about cultivating an unshakable belief in yourself and your mission. It's like having an internal cheerleader that never gets tired, never loses its voice, and never ever gives up on you. In the face of setbacks, Kappitola didn't ask, "Why me?" She asked, "What's next?" This shift in perspective is crucial. It moves us from a place of victimhood to a position of empowerment. It transforms obstacles from roadblocks into stepping stones. It's like being in a video game where every challenge you overcome levels you up, making you stronger and more capable for the next round. Now, let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is a natural part of any journey worth taking. The key is not to eliminate fear, but to reframe it. When Kappitola launched her business during the pandemic, fear was everywhere. It was like trying to plant a garden in the middle of a thunderstorm. But instead of letting it paralyze her, she used it as a compass. If something scared her, she took it as a sign that it was important, that it mattered. Imagine approaching your fears this way. Instead of running from what scares you, what if you ran towards it? What if every time you felt that knot in your stomach, that voice in your head saying you can't do this, you recognized it as a signal that you're on the right track? It's like realizing that the monster under your bed is actually a friendly creature trying to guide you towards your dreams. This brings us to a crucial point, the myth of fearlessness. We often idolize leaders and entrepreneurs who seem to act without fear as if they're some kind of superhumans immune to doubt and uncertainty. But the truth is, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in the face of fear. Kappitola wasn't fearless when she started Azalee Homecare. She was terrified, but she understood that on the other side of that fear was growth, impact, and the fulfillment of her purpose. It's like standing at the edge of a cliff, knowing you need to jump to reach your dreams on the other side. The fear doesn't go away, but you jump anyway. Let's consider for a moment the ripple effects of Kappitola's courage. By pushing through her fears and starting Azalee Homecare, she didn't just change her own life, she created jobs in her community, providing opportunities for others to support their families and pursue their own dreams. She provided essential care to people who desperately needed it, bringing comfort and dignity to those in vulnerable situations. She became a role model for her children, showing them firsthand what it looks like to pursue a dream against all odds. It's like throwing a pebble into a pond and watching the ripples spread far beyond where the pebble landed. This is the power of courageous entrepreneurship. It's not just about personal success. It's about creating value, solving problems, and lifting others as we climb. When we dare to act on our ideas, to bring our visions to life, we create possibilities, not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us. It's like being given a magic wand and realizing that every time you use it to grant your own wish, you're inadvertently granting wishes for others too. But let's be real for a moment. The path Kappitola took wasn't easy. There were undoubtedly days when giving up seemed like the most logical option. Days when the challenges of balancing family life with the demands of a growing business felt overwhelming. It's like trying to juggle flaming torches while riding a unicycle on a tightrope over a pool of hungry sharks. It's in these moments that the true test of an entrepreneur's mettle comes to light. What set Kappitola apart was her ability to stay connected to her why. When things got tough, she reminded herself of the family she was helping, of the difference her service was making in people's lives. This is a crucial lesson for anyone on an entrepreneurial journey. Your why is your lifeline. It's what will pull you through when everything else seems to be pushing you back. It's like having an